Dogs and cats are a crucial part of our lives. They love us unconditionally, and they can help us feel less lonely. A pet will love you no matter who you are, what you look like, and where you sleep at night. Our neighbors without stable shelter deserve companionship that comes from animals.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit. Do a trick. Do a trick. Sit down. Sit down. Do a trick. Do a trick. Come on. There you go.
Say hi. Are you going to show her your treat?
Pretty girl.
Let's see. Look at mommy. Hey, boogers.
People you don't know, they tend to put you down. You know, like over here, a couple of them will say, "You're too homeless, so when did you get out of here?" You know, your dog, should be in a better home.
He's my life partner. That's as close as it gets.
We keep each other warm and companionship.
That's a lot of people's problems now, is they're homeless with their animals. And the homeless shelter does not take animals. So they have no resolution for the homeless with animals. Anybody else can go to the homeless shelter. But they think just because we got animals, we should give our animals away or put them down. We're not going to do that.
Our Town Reno first met William, or Bill Wright, in 2016. However, on the streets of Reno, he's most commonly referred to as Mountain Man. A social worker from Northern Nevada hopes helped Mountain Man secure a roof over his head. He was staying in a motel, but he quickly learned that life wasn't for him.
And the city was trying to force me into a motel, which I can't afford.
He returned to an underpass near Vine Street, which is where I met him several years later in 2019.
Dreams and aspirations get off the street for me and Hurley. Live a life instead of this. Like I said, 18 years of this, and I'm tired of it. My body's broken down.
The shelters on Record Street, like many others, don't allow pets. This poses a problem for this vulnerable population. Most people I talked to said they would rather sleep outside than have to give up their pet.
And I stayed there when it first opened up, and it was like going to jail. Prison mentality, the way they treated the clients. They don't allow dogs. Hurley, she takes it as being punished if we're not sleeping in the same blanket or in the same bed. I'll get the SSI, so I buy my like right now I'm buying gear, replacing gear, repairing gear. So like most of my money, I make sure Hurley gets her food each month, so I do whatever I can to eat during the month, just as long as her and I are warm at night.
After meeting Bill, I hit the streets to talk to folks living along the Truckee River with their pets.
I am houseless. I live in a tent by the river under a bridge. Her previous owners were walking down the street, ran into a friend of mine who was walking her dog. asked her, they couldn't take care of her anymore for whatever reason, I don't know why. And said, can you take care of this or take care of her for us or find her a good home? And she said, well, I've got my own dog, so I'll have to find her a home, and ran into me and gave her to me, and I said, absolutely. I had been like the neighborhood or the houseless dog watcher for other people that have pets, and I kind of got accustomed to it or grown attached to a few of them. And it, always heartbreaking when you have to give them back, so now I have my own. She's a cuddler. She'll get under the blanket and just snuggle right up to me. And dogs their body temperature is a lot higher than ours anyway, naturally, so you just throw a cover over us and then we're nice and toasty all night. I have a kid. All of a sudden, pretty much I have a kid, so.
Despite providing comfort, love, and protection for their owners who sleep outside, people still argue that houseless individuals shouldn't have pets. Some say the animals can't be taken care of if their owner is houseless and their pets aren't fed well enough.
A lot of people don't think that homeless people deserve a pet, and so they can be pretty nasty to these people.
People have gone as far as stripping dogs away from their owners on the streets.
Today, although the homeless rate has dropped, attacks against the homeless continue.
Unfortunately, if they want to get off the streets and into a shelter, they must ask themselves a question. Do I leave my best friend behind? That's because most shelters don't allow pets unless they are a service animal.
Backpack size bag. One bag only. No animal. No animal.
I think if you are homeless, I think it is a really good idea to have a dog because they can protect you and they can give you that love and support, and they're actually, they're pretty good at being outside, so,
She eats better than we do.
Yeah.
And she only drinks bottled water.
Bougie, no river water.
Yeah. It's either toilet or bottle.
Do people treat you guys differently at all for having a dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We've gotten a lot of comments about you're homeless, you shouldn't have a dog, you can't take care of that dog, and it's like we treat him better than what we do ourselves.
That's your friends, huh? We'll go play in a minute.
But for these pet owners, their animals alleviate their depression and anxiety. I went to the Record Street shelter to talk to people who hang out with their dogs during the day. Behind St. Vincent's dining room, there's an outdoor playpen for the dogs to play, run around, and socialize.
He keeps me warm at night and very safe. Nobody approaches me with a big dog like this. So he's actually stopped a lot of people from trying to hurt me and stuff. If there's a disagreement going on, he'll take the aggressor down. He won't bite. He's not bitten anybody, but he'll take you to the ground and want to wrestle.
The person holding the dog was holding the dog, and when the dog, on the third time the dog pulled, he let go of the leash and threw his hands up like this, and Hurley snagged her up. So while I'm trying to break the two apart, the owner stabbed Hurley 4 times.
What are you supposed to do if your pet needs care? After learning about the different veterinary issues houseless individuals are up against, I started researching organizations that try to help out. I came across a national group called Feeding Pets of the Homeless, who provide food, vet care, and resources for people living on the streets with their pets. It just so happens their headquarters are right here in Carson City, Nevada.
Okay, and what's your current housing situation? Okay. Okay, where do you sleep at night?
When a homeless person calls us from anywhere in the country and even into Canada, we will find, first we'll vet them, find out what's going on with their animal, and then we will locate one of our network hospitals, and then we pay the hospital directly at time of service. So the homeless person is not charged with any of this because we want that animal to be not suffering and in pain. We do it because we know what that animal-human bond is, and these animals are with their people 24/7.
There's that one, and then this one with the white face. That's him, right?
So that if
Okay.
something happens, you ladies get out of there.
So
as
that's
quickly as
Hurley.
possible. A code word that
And
we're
then
out of
here's the
here.
picture with
Yeah, I
the
think
stab
anyone,
wound.
who does something generous or reaches out to the community.
So,
needs to
and as
figure
you
out
can
those
see, we
boundaries.
have
Yeah.
tons and tons of pictures of pets.
It was pretty scary. Anyway,
Lots.
so
We've
my husband put
cats
a peephole in
and all
the
kinds
door
of
so we
animals
could
that
see
we've
who was
helped.
there if we're-
I was more worried about her bleeding out.
However, these services aren't accessible to everyone. I went to Barbara Bennett Park where I met Annette and her 15-year-old dog, Kika.
There you go.
Annette herself has been houseless for over 3 years. She's had Kika since 2010 after her previous owners were abusive.
She has tumors. She senses if anybody touches it or gets around it, she'll let them know too. You know, we try to warn them ahead of time to be careful with her because she will snap. And me, without having a cell phone, I do have the number as it's hard to get a contact with them. And so, but when I get a chance, you know, if I ever come up with it, she needs to be seen. They're the ones that, no matter what, through the weather, through the bad times, they're there with you no matter what. You ready for your butt rub?
Ooh, yeah.
Some people think that they're being abused. For some reason, they think that dogs naturally come from houses.